Dr. Fuck here with the best of 1977. I got my stack right here, and I got my top 10 over there. So these I'm just going to hold up. They're not numbered. I'm not saying any one of these are better than the other, even though I think that. But just to save myself from stupid comments down there saying, hey, you picked this over that. You can do it to my top 10. That I'm fine with. But here I'm not gonna bother, because there's a lot of albums here, and this will be in two parts, just like 1976. I'm gonna do what I think is not in my top 10, but albums I love and albums I own. But there's one album that I own that I can't find, and I never owned it on CD, and it kind of deserves to be in the top 10 because it is my favorite album from my favorite lineup of the Scorpions, even though my favorite Scorpions album is really Love Drive, but I love the Uli years, and I have it on vinyl and I can't fucking find it, but I never owned it on CD, or else I'd hold up the CD, and that's Taken by Force. Sales of Charon, that just, I can go on. The whole fucking album, beginning to end, is awesome, and the album cover I have is the Graveyard one. I think that's the hard one to find. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, let's get into the other ones. Okay, this one, probably one of the most popular albums of the 70s. And I'm not the biggest Fleetwood Mac fan. And this was like a hand-me-down. There was a friend of mine called David Maurer, shout out, that I know he's not watching. He called me one day and said, hey, I got a stack of albums. You want them? I said, sure. And this was in them. This was one of them. And, I like this, most of these songs we hear on the radio all the time. And I do appreciate it. I love Stevie Nicks. I mean, I even gave Stevie Nicks flowers once. Went all the way up front. But, I love this album. I love Tusk, too. Tusk will make, whatever year that album came out, it will make it, because I do own that on vinyl. But, Rumours is great. I don't own the self-title, and that one was out in 75, I think. And I think somebody left me a comment saying, why didn't you put that there? Because I don't own it. And I don't really know it. Alright, next. Ooh, this is a really good live album. Rainbow on Stage. Fucking awesome. Too bad I didn't have Stargazer, but I love how Dio did Mistreated. Fucking awesome. Kill the King is on here, and this came out before Long Live Rock and Roll, so you got to hear Kill the King before Long Live Rock and Roll was released. And in my opinion, Kill the King is the very first power metal song. But that's my opinion. You may think I'm wrong, and you're right to you. But I think Kill the King is the very first, and Man on the Silver Mountain, the little blues thing, Starstruck, kind of a short version. Catch the Rainbow's beautiful on here. 16th Century Greensleeves, Still I'm Sad, with vocals. Fucking love it. Rainbow on Stage, classic. Alright, next. Oh yeah. Love Gun from Kiss. Love this album, man. I have gone on record on my Kiss channel to say I don't like Hooligan, and I still stand by that. I like Then She Kissed Me. But I like ABBA too. But yet, I don't know what cock tastes like. But I love this album. Love Gun, Got Love for Sale. I believe I said I didn't like that on the review when I did years ago. Well, I changed my mind on that. Christine 16, Almost Human, which I named my Kiss channel after, and added a 5/6 to it. Shock Me, the very first song that Ace sang on a Kiss album, and probably, in my opinion, the best the second best opening track on any Kiss album. I Stole Your Love. The winner would be Detroit Rock City for me, but I Stole Your Love is probably my favorite track off this album. And I love Tomorrow and Tonight, but I don't like it on here. I like the fake live version on Alive too. Great album. I love Love Gun. Alright. I don't know which one came out first. Oh yeah, this is the one that came out second. Great. Like I said on the previous episode, I love the Ramones. And the Ramones released 2 albums this year, and this is the second one, Leave Home. And, man, Give Me Shock Treatment, Ooh, I Love Her, Susie the Headbanger, Pinhead, Gabba Gabba Hey. I love the California Sun cover. Commando, probably my favorite one on here. You're Gonna Kill That Girl. I love this whole fucking album. This band was just incredible. Love the Ramones, and this is their second album. and it's a 180 gram version. I used to own, I don't know if, I think I've told this story a million times, but I'm going to say it again. A lot of these albums that I owned, I have to bring this up. I have them now 180 gram. I don't have the original versions anymore, most of them. Some of them I did keep. Because I used to live in a little shoebox apartment in the late 80s. Was it the late? Yeah, in the late 80s, around 87, 88, 89. I used to live in a little shoebox apartment, and I had not this many vinyls, but I had a good amount of vinyls in crates. Anybody remember Peaches Records? The chain of Peaches, they used to sell crates that you can keep your albums in. I had so many crates of them. And then the CD came around, and then when I started buying CDs, I would give away the vinyl. So I got Leave Home. I think I got Leave Home in the 90s, actually. And I would give away the vinyls to my friends. Here, I got it on CD just to save space in this cramped up little shoebox apartment. And I regret it a lot. But the upside is, in my opinion, 180 grams sounds better than original pressings. I've done the test on many of my albums. And, I mean, there are exceptions. Some 180 grams, they don't really take the time. But, this one has, like, original master tapes and shit like this. Sounds amazing. Love it. All right. Next. Supertramp. Okay, I brought up Supertramp before. And which one does this have? Give a little bit of my love to you. I love that song. Man, look at the ring wear. I can't read the songs on here. But this one I liked better than Crisis. What Crisis? This one's more enjoyable. I actually put it on today and really had... I like Fool's Overture, the long-ass song at the end. And there's quite a few songs. I really love the vocals from Supertramp, from Mike whatever and that other guy, I like them. Oh, I love this album. This album I bought in the 70s, and I don't think this is this is the original one I bought in the 70s. I absolutely love The Stranger. I bought this album because I heard Only the Good Die Young on the radio, and I was like, man, that's such a good song. I have to buy this Billy Joel album. But man, this one has Moving Out, Just the Way You Are. I was never big into that, but I love scenes from an Italian restaurant, which Billy Joel had the inspiration on that song with the B-side of Abbey Road, how all that blended together. She's Always a Woman. I love that song. Get It Right This Time. Everybody Has a Dream. I have to say this is my favorite. I don't know. It's either this or Glass Houses is my favorite Billy Joel album. Fucking awesome. And I bought this, and this is what the copy I bought when it was released. So this is an original pressing. If there's a 180 gram, I'd like to get it. Out of the Blue, like I said on the previous episode, how important this fucking band is. And I remember when this album came out, goddamn was it well promoted. And I love the artwork, the starship, the inside of the starship. There's a double album, and fuck, man, there's a lot of good songs. Turn to Stone, It's Over, Sweet Talking Woman, Night in the City, Jungle is such a weird song. I used to love Jungle so much. It was my favorite song back then, but now it's not. I probably have to go with Turn to Stone. But Mr. Blue Sky, The Whale, and what was the song they opened up with? I saw them open up with a song off this album, Standing in the Rain. I flew to Oakland, California a few months ago just to see ELO because I'd never seen ELO. And they opened with that song. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Well, I just found out they booked ELO here at the... Next summer they're playing down here, and I don't care if they're doing the same set list. I'm there. I love this album. Though I like the New World Record more, I think this is a pretty cool double fucking album. And corporate rock. Big fan of corporate rock. Alright, next. Fuck yeah. Kiss Alive 2. Not as good as Kiss Alive 1, but I love it. And it's so fake that makes it even better for me. What a great opener with Detroit Rock City going into King of the Nighttime World. Ladies Room. A lot of these songs, I gotta say, let me think for a second. Which ones I prefer here than the studio version. I'll say, it's a tie between Detroit Rock City. King of the Nighttime World, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a tie too. I like Ladies Room more on this. Making Love, I like the studio version more. Love Gun, I like the studio version. Probably tied. Calling Dr. Love, studio version. Christine 16, I I guess tied. No, studio version. Shock Me is awesome with that solo. I think I prefer this version of Shock Me. Hard Luck Woman, which was never played live and not as good as the studio version, but it's cool that it's on here. Never played live back then. Tomorrow and Tonight was never played live either, and I prefer that version on here. I prefer the studio version of I Stole Your Love. I prefer the studio version of Beth. God of Thunder is tied because they're so different. The studio version's so slow and menacing, and this one's more big, and I love that little drum solo. It's awesome. I Want You, which was recorded in Budokan. I know it was touched up a little, but that version is, if you ever seen the Kiss in Japan video, I remember seeing that a lot on HBO when I was a kid, like in the late 70s, early 80s. They would show that show on HBO when HBO was like brand new. Shout out loud. All right, and dude, the fucking studio. I love all the studio tracks, even Any Way You Want It, even though it's kind of like, you know, weak compared to the rest of them. But Rocket Ride destroys them all, in my opinion. But Larger Than Life and All American Man, Bob Kulick's pretty damn badass on there. Rockin' the USA's whatever. But this is a great album with so much shit inside. The tattoos, the book, and it's just a fucking classic. I love Kiss alive too. I love anything Kiss from the 70s, except for a couple of those solo albums. Hey, look, I'm wearing it. I love this album. This is the album that came after Left Overture. From beginning to end, this is a great one. My favorite track on here is Lightning's Hand and Nobody's Home. But everything on here, Paradox, the Spider Portrait is amazing. Just everything. And I'm going to see Kansas in a couple months. I think it's next month. Perform this album in its entirety, and I can't wait. I saw him perform Left Overture in its entirety the last 2 times I saw him. So this time I'm going to see them do this from beginning to end. Which it's only the drummer and the guitar player, but hey, what can you do? All right, look at this, man. The original album cover. I know this was re-released with the flames and everything, and I do have the one without the flames, but I found this, oh man, where was this? Up in this place called the Record Rack, and it was in the used section. Too bad the little thing here. Guy was selling it for $6, and I looked at it. It's maybe not original pressing, but this is the one that came out that year. It must be original pressing because they, after the plane crash, they stopped and put the black version on, which was like that kind of. Fuck, this is a great. This deserves to be in the top 10. Damn you, you fucking awesome albums of '77. But man, I Know a Little is probably my favorite track on here. That Smell, we all know that. And What's Your Name? I Never Dreamed. Oh man, you got that right. What a great send-off, final album, swan song to the original Skynyrd. Well, the 70s Skynyrd. This ain't original. A couple new members, but with the late great Steve Gaines, Ronnie Van Zant, Billy Powell, Artemis Pyle, Leon Wilkerson, Gary Roston, and Alan Collins. Fucking classic, amazing album. But all Skynyrd albums were amazing in the 70s. All right, here, I gotta say, this is my favorite album from this band that didn't make the top 10 because I'm too much into the hard rock and metal. But if I wasn't, I'd definitely have to put this on there because this is, I think, the best ABBA album. This is the one that, if anybody say, well, you know, I mean, what's their best album when I get into? This one. This is, you know, I gotta be honest, like all the ABBA albums, there are songs on them that I'm like, ooh, this is not one of them. I love every song on here. Take a Chance, Eagle, One Man, One Woman, The Name of the Game, and Move On, and the little medley there with the girl with golden hair, and I'm a Marionette, which is a fucking awesome tune to end it. This is my favorite ABBA album. ABBA, the album. And something I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show that I want to mention on every show I do on this top album thing. I've mentioned them on the last ones. If you leave a comment down there saying, hey, where's that album? It's up your ass. I have to say this every show. Lights Out. Fuck yeah. UFO. Fucking classic as fuck. Of course, now I gotta get my glasses. Edit. Too Hot to Handle. Fucking classic. Of course, the title track, Love to Love. What a great way to end the album. Alone Again, Getting Ready. I mean, fuck, this band is so underrated, it's sickening. Michael Schenker era. Fuck yeah. This is the shit. Lights Out London. Hell yeah. Should be in the top 10. This should be in the top 10 as well. I love this one. This is classic Nuge right here. Cat Scratch Fever. Everybody knows Cat Scratch Fever, but boy, Wang Dang Sweet Putang, most people know that one too. But man, Death by Misadventure. Talk about a kick-ass fucking song. And Live It Up, Homebound, Working. I mean, this whole fucking album rules. How to Control, Sweet Sally, 8,000 Knives, Fist Fighting, Son of a Gun. Hell yeah, I love this whole album. And Homebound, you all know that Beastie Boys sampled it for one of their songs. And yes, I know Ghost did I'm a Marionette. I know somebody probably already wrote that in the comments. Alright, the second album from Heart. This is a really good album. Side 1, you know, everybody knows Barracuda. Love Alive, Sylvan Song, and Dreamer of the Archer is very, very Zeppelin worship. I hear a lot of Battle of Evermore vibe, you know. Kick It Out, a good rocker. Little Queen's a good rocker too. Then there's a, you know, there's a couple mellow ones that's not really as Zeppelin-y, but still really good. This is a really good album. I love Little Queen. And I love these two sisters. They're fucking hot. And Roger Fisher was an awesome guitar player. Original Heart lineup, man. This is good shit. Alright, next. Oh, let me grab the CD too with this one. Expect No Mercy. I remember buying this one. Yeah, promotional. Not for sale. I remember buying this one for like $3. It was in a used bin, and just the album cover alone. And I didn't. This was actually the very first Nazareth album I ever bought. I didn't own Hair of the Dog yet, but I bought it because of the. And you see the little hole. Can you see that little hole there? Oops. I bought it because of the album cover, and I love this song, especially that title track. And there's a great songs on here, Kentucky Fried Blues, but here, Joseph Staub bought me the CD that brings like a different mix to the album, alternative versions, that's even heavier. And this is awesome, man. If you like this album, you haven't heard this, buy it. Expect No Mercy from Nazareth. Good shit. Alright, this is an album I bought literally like 4 years ago. I never heard it till like 4 years ago, but it was released that year, and it's fucking awesome. I had to buy it because I love Riot, and this is Rock City. I don't know if it's their first album or... Yeah, I think it is. Narita was the one after this, right? Awesome, awesome album. Great hard rock. I love Warrior and the title track and Tokyo Rose. Man, rest in peace, Guy Speranza and Mark Real, man. Riot was an awesome band. The very first time I even heard of Riot was when I saw the Black Sabbath Heaven and Hell tour. They opened the show with Johnny Van Zant Band. I know that tour was Black and Blue with Blue Oyster Cult and Black Sabbath, but when it came to Miami, it was Riot and Johnny Van Zant. I snuck out of my parents' house to see the show, and when I got home, my dad beat the fuck out of me with a belt, and it was worth every lash. Great album, Rock City. All right. I love this album cover. Rock and Roll Machine, Triumph, where a lot of these songs, or some of these songs, was from the first album, Triumph, which I never owned. I still don't own. I think it's called In the Beginning or just Triumph. Either way, this is a great album. Blinding Light Show is probably my favorite on here. But Takes Time, Street Fighter, I love that song. 24 Hours a Day is a good rockin', you know, good 70s hard rock happy tune. Everybody party 24 hours a day. Good shit. And of course the title track, Rick Emmett going ape shit on electric guitar, Rick Emmett going ape shit on the acoustic guitar on Blinding Light Show. Classic as fuck. I love Triumph. And I just heard they're going to do a documentary on Triumph. The same people that's done the documentary on Rush, what is it? Yeah, the Rush documentary and, you know, Stam Done. Alright, I talked about this band already, and here's another album they released. The third album, which looked very similar to the very first album cover. fucking Rocket to Russia. Man, I think I'm going to have to go with this one over Leave Home. Because, you know, you got Cretin Hop, Rockaway Beach, Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. I mean, the whole album. You know, Sheena's a Punk Rocker, We're a Happy Family, Meet Mom and Daddy, Teenage Lobotomy, which was, actually, Teenage Lobotomy is what made me Ramones fan, because I was a teenager and I got a lobotomy. Now, that's not true. I saw the movie Over the Edge, and that song was in it, and I don't know what year Over the Edge came out, but I got to figure it out, because I got to put that album in the best of that year, because there's stuff I want to talk about Over the Edge. And not even about the movie, actually the soundtrack, but fucking great. Rocket to Russia, as I said before, huge Ramones fan, and especially the early stuff. All right, Blue Oyster Cult Spectre. This one I thought was in 1976 album, and I even talked about it on that one, and I had to cut it out and put the one with Don't Fear the Reaper. You saw it in the last episode. This one is awesome. I like this one way more. Godzilla, Golden Age of Leather, maybe my favorite. No, actually, what's the one that I really, really like on here? I Love the Night, that one, man. But Are You Ready to Rock? Fireworks, great. It's really strange here and there, but I dig every fucking song off this album. Classic Blue Oyster Cult. All right. I don't own, and let me see, before I pull this up, was this actually released in 77? I don't think it was. No, it says 76. But I know the first Motorhead album was released, and I have it on CD. But this one has some of those songs, like I Remember Iron Horse was on there, and Vibrator. I think Vibrator's on there, isn't it? Lost Johnny, and fuck yeah, the first Motorhead. But this one's on Parole, a different version. I never owned the first Motorhead on vinyl, but I will change that. I love that first Motorhead album. Even though it's not the classic lineup, it's Lemmy and two other guys. Well, it says here Phil Taylor. No, and then it says Locust Fox on drums. So I may not be, I may be making a mistake holding this up, but fuck it. I'm talking about it in case I'm not making a mistake and I can avoid somebody saying, where the fuck is the first Motorhead or On Parole? All right, next one. Oh, man. One of the best hard rock bands of the 70s, and I love this album, even though it's my least favorite of the 70s albums they did, because there's two songs I don't dig on it, but it has some amazing shit. Draw the Line. Kings and Queens has to be my favorite song off there. One of my favorite Aerosmith songs. Of course, the title track, Critical Mass, fucking awesome. I saw them play that live, too, at one of those later shows. Sight for Sore Eyes. I Want to Know Why. Get It, got to get it up, get it up. The only songs I don't like on here is Bright Light, Fright, and Milk Cow Blues. But the rest is great, and this is them really fucked up, and Joe Perry and Steven Tyler were at each other's throats during it. But they ended up releasing a damn good album with two fillers. Oh, ooh, hell yeah, son. This is just like the Nazareth album. This one I found in a used bin, and I took a chance. It was like $3, and fuck yeah, man. This song, the title track, Opium Trail, you know, that and Gonna Leave This Town has to be my favorite Thin Lizzy song. Southbound's amazing. Dancing in the Moonlight, Killer Without a Cause, Dear Lord. God, that's a great song. Great fucking album. No Brian Robertson on the album cover, but he's on the back of it. I believe he was injured or something and he couldn't play on the album. I could be wrong. But he is, isn't he? Yeah, he is credited on here as lead guitar, voice box, and keyboards. Love this album. Fuck yeah. Next. Alright, here's an album. I think I don't think this is the one I bought. But I did buy this album just because of the album cover alone. And I was very disappointed when I took it home. I was like, this shit ain't metal. This shit ain't hard rock. But it has grown on me, and I think it's fucking great. Of course, everybody knows Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell, by the way. You Took the Words Out of My Mouth. There's some good, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Of course, the title track, For Crying Out Loud. This is a great album, even though it's not metal, it's not even hard rock, it's borders on it at times. But I think it's a great album, and it sold a gazillion albums back then. And I dig it. I dig Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. I'm not the biggest Meatloaf fan, don't really know much about them. I did see them once because Cheap Trick opened, that's the only reason I went. Which was Bat Out of Hell 2, the one where I can do anything for love, but I won't do that. I saw that tour. So I saw Meatloaf once. And yeah, I think this does deserve to be in my top albums of 1977 because, well, number one, it's very popular, even though that's not a good reason to put on there, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But it's good enough to make my list. I dig it. I put this on maybe once every other year. I don't play it that much, but when I do, I have to be in the mood for it, and it always works out. All right. Lace and Whiskey from Alice Cooper. This one is an improvement from Go to Hell. I like Road Rats, and You and Me is a great ballad. Of course, the title track, I love that song, and you know, some whatever songs on there. But this is a great album. I really dig Lace and Whiskey. You know, for what it is. It's cool. And this ain't the only album he released in 1977. He also released a live album, The Alice Cooper Show. And I really like on here, what's the one? I really like how he does, you know, I Love the Dead, going into Go to Hell, Wish You Were. Not very talked about as far as live albums go. And it's upside downs. See, the album comes out from the top, which is not the norm. But I dig it. I dig this album, Alice Cooper, The Alice Cooper Show. Right on. But it's not the original Alice Cooper band, but I dig that live album. All right, here's one. Oh boy, I bought this for 99 cents at Rhino Records in California when I was there in 1985. Queen of Noise from the Runaways. The song I really like on here is cheesy as fuck, but I love Born to Be Bad. I just love that song, but you know, Queens of Noise, Playing with Fire, you know, it's cheesy, but I dig it. I dig the Runaways, and to me, out of all the Runaways, Lita Ford was the hottest, man. But this girl, what was her name? Sherry Curry? Was that her name? She got all the attention. She was the hottest in the 70s because the 70s had a different look. All right, this one, man. I remember buying this album maybe a year or two after it was released, maybe around 79 or something, and it was so hard to find. And because of one song, I wanted this album so bad, and I remember finding it. I'll never forget it. I went up to the guy, I'm a little kid, and I go up to the store and I'm going, man, this album's so hard to find. He was like, yeah, whatever. I'll never forget that. I don't know. I was like, well, fuck you. The first Foreigner album, and the song that made me want to buy this so bad was called Star Rider. And it's a song you never hear on the radio anymore, but they used to play it on radio back then, and I love that song so much. I wanted this album so bad, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Finally found it, and everybody knows Feels Like the First Time, Cold as Ice. What else is on here? Long, Long Way From Home. But it's great. It's a great debut album. I digs it. The first Foreigner album. All right, here's the last one I'm going to show you guys for this episode, but tune in tomorrow for the top 10. And I think this one could have made a top 10. And I did talk about this band on the previous episode, saying that, you know, everybody that knows this band thinks they're sloppy fucking commercial shit. This live album fucking rules. God damn it, you get what you play for. And man, there's so many. I love Like You Do, how it starts. I love the whole album. I mean, go look it up on Wikipedia and read out the track list. Every single song on here rules, and it ends with the best song, Golden Country, which is an epic fucking long-ass song with an amazing epic guitar solo. Rest in peace, Gary Richrath. This was a great hard rock blue-collar band. Absolutely love this album. It really does capture REO at their finest. And I think this is the first album that kind of put them a little bit on the map. When this album was released, people started to take notice of REO Speedwagon. So there you go. So tune in tomorrow where I go into that stack right there, which is only 10 albums, and it's going to be my top 10. So thank you for tuning in to part 1 of 1977. See you tomorrow for the top 10, according to me. of 1977. Bye.